feel the pain. So
anybody is not happy with this, then you need to go and
No, I cannot. Because I have a court order. I have a court order, you have released yourself. I have a court order. Anybody who disagrees with this order of court, go to appeal court. That's what you tell me all the time. You are from this official. You cannot preside over this case number again. Not in this life. You cannot. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And one over here cannot force this court to preside on my case. You cannot. Not today, not till forever. You are recused and you stand recused. Tell the chief judge, Nnamdi Kanu said, go on appeal. I recused him from my case. The state recused Justice Adema from my case. And the court insists Adema must hear my case. I never insisted. So why must you insist to hear my case? I don't want you in my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. You are biased. You cannot be in my case. A woman should do the right thing. A chairman of the board of Pentas Prosecution is not propriety. Nowhere in the world such nonsense stop. You cannot be hobnobbing with lawyers, hobnobbing with justices, and you're proceeding a case. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful. Shameful. This is not a court of law. This is a shrine to injustice. And I will not subject myself to it. You stand recused and you must take my case. You cannot write me. This man is not paying attention. There is an order of recusal, and he's a senior advocate for goodness sake. There's an order of recusal. Is that not the rule of law? The law says if you disagree with this, you go and appeal. You are a grown-up man. Because of 300 million, you're behaving like a child. Go and appeal. Because of money. Because of money they're paying you from ATM office, you are here standing and smoking evil. Because of money. A grown-up man like you, you say you are like to behave like a man of honor. The rule of law says you go and appeal. His Lordship Peter, you go and try my case. Not on this planet Earth, I'm telling you that now. So stop wasting your time.
So that I said, the issue of the past that the defendant has indicated that he will not make a formal application. I advise that the Lordship was extremely good for hearing.
You are not well. You are not well. I'm telling you, this is what I'm not well. This is an order of court. An order of court says Justice Beta Yako is recused. An order of court. Order she made as an order. The same Chief Justice writing the stupid memo he's writing. I recused him. He was Fonk's official. He sat on appeal. I took him to NJC. I recused him. Why did he not say I must sit on your case? Why in the case of his lordship is he insisting? He wants to embarrass her. He wants to embarrass your lordship by asking her to come and sit on this case. Is that what you're saying? There's an order of give it to him. He doesn't have it. Give him an order of court. It's an order of court. Give it to him. He doesn't have it. An order. Give it. He doesn't have it. It's an order of court. It's an order of court.
I take your permission to address you. But then you tell the defendant that that in everything now, there's need for wisdom. And wisdom is very important in this matter.
Intelligent minds.
It is not right for you to be insulting the teacher and
If you insult yourself, I will insult you. If you have no respect for yourself, I will insult you. Because people are telling the law, when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu, you turn the law upside down. The law says one thing. If the law says this paper is white, when I go to court, they say it's black. When I say it's black, they say it's white. Is that law? I'm asking you, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is that law? Is the memo from Chief Judge, is memo from Chief Judge sufficient to set aside and a court order? The answer is no. Why do you want to change the law in my own case? His Lordship, Justice Netanyahu, stand recused in my case. Cannot try me. Why don't you get it?
All right, today is the day that Chukwu Okike Abiyama has made for every Biafrans all over the world to experience what we feel might be a historic day. Today is Nnamdi Kanu's final court sitting, and today a verdict will be made. The information getting to us right from the court premises is that only 10 attendees were actually allowed to enter. That is 10 attendees from Nnamdi Kanu's side were actually allowed to enter the court premises. That shows that today's, there is a very strict restriction in court today. We'll be giving you more information on the court trial of Nnamdi Kanu, and more videos will be coming in directly. I had to play that video so that you understand the fight that Nnamdi Kanu has been fighting since. But the reality is that Biafrans have proven that he is not alone in this fight.
I have no case to answer.
They are with him.
Nnamdi
They are fully
Kanu
with
tells
him.
Justice James
Nnamdi Kanu
Omotosho
has fought
at the
for
Federal High
himself,
Court in Abuja,
even in the face of adversity. And today,
wonderful people of Biafra lovers
we
of
are
freedom
expecting
all over the world.
the Zoo
You are
government
welcome
to
once
do the
again
right
to
thing
Biafra
for the
Unite
first
channel
time.
/ television.
Nnamdi Kanu just arrived in court, and the court,
Today's date is 20th of June 2025, and I have a very important information
James
for
Omotosho
every one of
to
you.
come.
Listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world.
We'll be giving you more updated information.
Dear friends and lovers
on
of freedom,
this court
I want
trial,
you
this
to
historic
pay
court
very good
trial.
attention
But we
to
are
this very
hoping
news,
that Nnamdi
because
Kanu
it's very,
is
very
actually
important.
freed
I
today.
can assure
But
you,
meanwhile,
people,
before we go into
Nnamdi
today's
Kanu, the
court
leader of the
trial
indigenous people of
fully,
Biafra,
while you are
has
waiting,
told Justice
please,
James
I want you to
Omotosho
watch
at the Federal High Court
this
in Abuja, including the
important
Zoological
information
Republic of Animal
coming
Kingdom,
directly
Nigerian
in
government,
the
and
whole
the public,
analysis of
that he
Nnamdi
is
Kanu's court
innocent.
trial,
He has
and also
equally
to
declared
refresh your
himself
mind
innocent
on what
and
to
said that he has
expect
no
today.
any single case to answer,
One thing we expect
irrespective
is
of the
that freedom
allegations
will definitely
allegations
come
of
to
terrorism
Nnamdi
and
Kanu,
treasonable
a
felony
prisoner
leveled
of
against
conscience.
him
Take
by
it
the federal
or leave
government
it.
of the
We are
Zoological
waiting,
Republic of
for
Animal
the
Kingdom,
triumphant
Nigeria.
victory
Nnamdi Kanu
today.
has denied them
Enjoy
all.
and make
Now
sure you
let
share
us
this
read this
video.
very news in details. As you can see on your screen, I will be reading from the Vanguard news platform of the Zoo, Nigeria. And according to that title, they said, alleged terrorism. I have no case to answer, Kanu tells court. Abuja. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, Nkafaneti proscribed today. Vanguard, or the Cafe Chaligo. Let's take that again. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, who is facing a 7-count terrorism and treasonable felony charge, yesterday told the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja that he has no case to answer. Kanu took the position shortly after the federal government, which is prosecuting him, announced its decision to close its case. Federal government wrapped up its case after the 5th prosecution witness, PW5, concluded his testimony and was discharged by the court. The witness, whose name was shielded, was simply identified as Triple E before he gave his testimony behind a protective screen. Upon the conclusion of his cross-examination by a member of Kanu's legal team, Dr. Onyechi Ikpeazu-San, Federal Government Counsel Chief Agboyega Awomolo-San informed the court that he would no longer produce any witness to testify in the matter. Awomolo-San said the prosecution team was satisfied that from the avalanche of evidence tendered through the 5 witnesses, the government had effectively established the charge against the defendant. I will therefore, at this juncture, close the case of the prosecution, the senior lawyer added. Okay, now, through the avalanche of evidence, imagine, with all the shame that they have provided, all the shame that these people provided since they have been running up and down on this case, yet they provided nothing but shame against themselves. Even when their so-called witnesses were stammering, all the questions thrown at them were not answered. None of them. The only answer they were giving is, I don't know. From beginning to the end, I don't know. The only thing they know is that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. That is the only thing, the only answer they know. Nnamdi Kanu made a broadcast. He incited people. That is the only thing they know. He's a terrorist. That's all. No evidence whatsoever. They even went ahead to bring evidence from Vanguard publication, that one Onyami said Nnamdi Kanu asked him to go and unalive 2,000 people, and he managed to unalive 30. That is the evidence from Vanguard. Zoo Media. Mad people everywhere. Very, very useless and shameless in idiots. Now, they continued with their madness. Following the announcement, the head of Kanu's defense team, Chief Kanu Agabi-san, notified the court about his client's decision to enter a no-case submission in the matter. A no-case submission is made when a defendant is convinced. Pay attention, this is the explanation of that no-case answer or no-case submission. Now, a no-case submission is made when a defendant is convinced that the totality of evidence that was adduced by the prosecution failed to establish a prima facie case that is capable of warranting the court to compel him to enter his defense to the charge. Should the application succeed, the defendant will be discharged by the court, thus making an end to the trial. Let me calm down. Let me take this again for avoidance of doubt. For avoidance of doubt. It said here, pay attention. Should the application succeed, you remember that same yesterday, the judge, after Nnamdi Kanu's lead counsel, Kanu Agabi-san, told the judge that Nnamdi Kanu has said he has no case to answer. After that very word was spoken, the judge told the defense counsel to put it on a written note for avoidance of doubt. Makandi say, I am not aware. You understand? So, should the application succeed, the defendant will be discharged by the court, thus making an end to the trial. Of course, we all know that Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. Oh yes, you can say he formed Eastern Security Network. What is the name? Eastern Security Network. Eastern part, security. When has forming a security network become a crime? When has forming a security outlet or outfit become a crime in the world? Or would the judge, if judge does not end the case, or if the application does not succeed, would Justice James Omotosho, with all due respect, prefer what is happening in Benue State, in some part of Kogi, in Kwara State, in Yobe State, in Zamfara State, in Kaduna State, in Borno State, in Katsina State, and other parts of the northern Nigeria happen here in the east? I'm asking, would James Omotosho, the judge, Justice James Omotosho, would he prefer that what is going on in Benue State today, at least Over 200 people were massacred by the Fulani herdsmen terrorists, the fourth deadliest terror group in the world. Would James Omotosho prefer such inhumanity to take place in the eastern part of Nigeria for now? So, of course, nobody's talking about Nnamdi Kanu talking about Biafra or saying Biafra must, leave Nigeria, because that has never been a crime in the world. It's his own opinion. That is his own opinion. So if he has a lot of followers and supporters, then let the Nigerian government give him referendum. It is the normal way. You can't force me to be with you. It is within his inalienable right to protect his own people if they give him the mandate. And they gave him the mandate. That's why when he made the call, the youths came out en masse to form the ESN. So it is within his inalienable right to protect himself. Are you paying attention? So you cannot say, you don't have right. No, we cannot fold our arms and see Fulani massacring our people and taking over our land, just as is happening in Benue State. Benue is just our neighbor. Even it's happening here already. In Enugu State, you can see what is happening in Ehamufu. So you can't stop us. You can't stop us from defending ourselves and our land. Oh, yes. So I'm sure that Justice James Omotosho will do the needful. He has to do the needful. Oh, yes, he has to do it. Because Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. In reality, he has no single case to answer. That is the truth. Now, given Kanu's decision, Trial Justice James Omotosho gave his legal team and federal government 14 days each to file written addresses and 2 days to file their reply on point of view. The case was subsequently adjourned till July 18 for adoption of the no-case submission. Earlier in the proceeding, federal government, through the PW5, tendered in evidence a report it said linked the embattled IPOB leader to the unaliving of 186 police officers, as well as the destruction of 164 police stations during the NSAS protest that took place in 2020. You see, this is to show that they have no evidence against Nnamdi Kanu. NSAS protest, that the entire zoo youth, participated. The youths of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom participated on that very NSAS protest, including the Northerners. I could remember during that NSAS protest, they chased Buhari. Even in Katsina, in Sokoto, they chased Buhari. They were even throwing stones to his helicopter in Kanu. I think that happened in Kanu State. Oh yes, they chased him. Is that Nnamdi Kanu's doing? The answer is no. So NSAS protest was a national, tragedy. A national tragedy. And what made it national tragedy? The only thing that made it a national tragedy was because the Nigerian army and police started shooting live ammunitions, started shooting innocent citizens who were protesting against the brutality of a certain police unit called SAS. You understand? So the entire youth came out and said, we must end it. They started protesting. Along the line, Nigerian army and police started shooting them with live ammunition, unaliving many of them. You are talking about how many people, how many police officers were unalive. You are not even talking about the Lekki massacre. Nobody is talking about the Lekki massacre. Can you imagine that the innocent citizens of Nigeria carrying placards and Nigerian flag, singing Nigerian national anthem, and Nigerian soldiers have the liver, have the guts, have the balls to open fire on an innocent protesters that gathered en masse at Lekki Toll Gate, Lagos State? Nigerian military, Nigerian soldiers have the morale to open fire on an innocent citizens who were carrying Nigerian flag, singing Nigerian national anthem, protesting against the SAS brutality. They opened fire on them, killing hundreds of them, if not thousands. Nobody is talking about it. None of those soldiers have been arrested till today. They are unknown soldiers. None of the policemen have been arrested till today. They are unknown police officers. And here you are, tagging the case on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is that not a foolishness? Is that not a stupidity? Is that not a stupid movement? Unbelievable. No wonder Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has told them that he has no case to answer. Now they continued. The witness, who is an operative of the Department of State Services (DSS), told the court that he was part of a team that was deployed to gather intelligence and compile reports on the impact of violence that trailed the protest. He told the court that he got to know Kanu through the media, though they never met in person. He told the court that his mandate was to record all the destructions of public properties and deaths of security operatives that occurred as a result of Kanu's radio broadcast. You see? You see now? He said that his mandate was to record all the destructions of public properties and deaths of security operatives. Oh, death of security operatives. So who has the mandate to record the death of innocent citizens of Nigeria that were massacred by the so-called security operatives? Who has the mandate to record it? Because this mandate, as the mandate of recording the destruction of public properties and the death of security operatives was given to a security operative, a DSS officer, that means another security officer, a DSS officer, should equally be given mandate to record the death of innocent citizens of Nigeria that were massacred by the same security operatives that are supposed to protect them during the protest. So we want to see who has the mandate to record the massacre of innocent citizens. Oh yes, we need it, because you cannot sideline that. They were human beings. They were human beings, and they were citizens of Nigeria. So you cannot, sweep it under the carpet, and here you are talking about security operatives. Who even massacre security operatives who can massacre security operatives? Who? When they have the arms, they have ammunition. Mad people everywhere. Among the items he tendered, which were admitted in evidence by the court, included a damage assessment report, death certificate of some security officers, as well as a certificate of compliance. Kanu's lawyer challenged the admissibility of the exhibit, saying he would adduce his reaction in the defendant's final written address. It will be recalled that Kanu was arrested on October 14, 2015. That was arrest. Yes, I know. Upon his return to the country from the United Kingdom. That was arrest. Now let us see if they talk about his kidnap as well. Following his arraignment in court on April 25, 2017, granted him bail on health grounds after he had spent about 18 months in detention. Upon the perfection of the bail conditions, he was on April 28, 2017 released from the Kuje prison. However, midway into the trial, the IPOB leader escaped from the country after soldiers invaded his country home at Afaruku Ibeku in Umuahia, Abia State, an operation that led to the death of some of his followers. Oh, Vanguard. Okay. No matter the hatred you have on the Igbo people, no matter how you hate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is good to speak the truth, no matter how bitter that truth could be. It is true to say it. So Vanguard, you have stated it. It is very clear. Since they know how to bring Vanguard publication as an evidence against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where they say one Ozoma said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told him to unalive 2,000 people, and he managed to unalive 30 people. They brought it as an evidence. They should also take this one. I'm telling the prosecution, because we know the truth already. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows the truth. The defense counsel knows the truth. The judge knows the truth. So the prosecution counsel, the prosecution team that knows how to bring Vanguard publication as an evidence should also take this one. That Vanguard has published that many of his followers were massacred. And Vanguard also said his country home in Afaruku Ibeku was, invaded by the soldiers. So they must understand this. This is the truth now. We are talking the truth. Now, Kanu was later rearrested. No, not rearrested. Kidnapped. That was never arrest. There was no any evidence of arrest because he did not undergo any extradition, hearing or proceedings in Kenya. There was nothing like that. So it was a pure kidnap. in Kenya on June 19, 2021, and extraordinarily renditioned back to the country by security agents on June 27, 2021. Oh, extraordinarily renditioned. It's no longer extra. Eziokwu na ha pụta ife. Eziokwu na ha pụta ife. This is the very first time Vanguard is using the right word, even though they said he arrested because they cannot say kidnapped, because it's a shame for a national newspaper to say that its own government, committed an act of kidnap. So it's a big shame. It's an embarrassment, right? So I understand, but at least they have said he was extraordinarily renditioned, which is an international crime. So Nigeria has to answer these things. You understand? So now, we also remember that yesterday, 19th of June, was complete 4 years. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and beaten to stupor in Kenya, in Nairobi, Kenya. And we are waiting for 27th of this very month to celebrate. These days have become, I don't know, I'm going to look for a word to use, to qualify the significance of these very days in our lifetime. Owing to the development, the trial court on June 29, 2021 remanded him in custody of DSS, where he has remained to date, which is also another crime of his own. On April 8, 2022, the court struck out 8 out of 15 count charges that federal government preferred against him on the premise that they lack substance. Likewise, the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal on October 13, 2022, ordered Kanu's immediate release from detention, even as it quashed the charge against him. Dissatisfied with the decision, federal government led by Fulani oligarchy, remember that, took the matter before the Supreme Court, even as it persuaded the Appellate Court to suspend the execution of the judgment pending the determination of its appeal. Meanwhile, deciding the appeal, the Supreme Court on December 15, 2023, vacated the judgment of the Appellate Court and gave federal government the nod to try the IPOB leader on the subsisting 7-count charge. You see, that is where the problem is today, because of injustice and the neglect or disobedience of court rules and orders. That's why the zoo is shaking and quaking today. So my people, Nnamdi Kanu has made it known to the judge and to the entire world that he is innocent and has no case to answer. So we are waiting on the 18th day of July, 18th day of July 2025, the day that we are going to see what Justice James Omotosho will do on this very matter. If Nnamdi Kanu will be released, discharged, and acquitted on that very day, we shall see. If Justice James Omotosho does anything contrary to that, then we begin to talk. We begin to have conversations. From then, should we begin to have conversations. But for now, let us see how it all going to happen. Thank you, my people. To salu numozia and make it go viral.